I wish I had more progress to show for the amount of time I put in today. I was building the new build back up into the drop. The new drop section of the house track we've been working on here, and I don't love it. I sort of feel like these sort of like long extended drops are not something I'm particularly good at, and maybe I just shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't do one. But my ear kept saying this is where the piece goes next, and even if it's a bad idea, I want to be someone who can make the idea and then decide to not do it because it's not the right musical decision, not because I don't have the skills to produce it to the like if I could do it right, it would be good enough, thing. I don't want that to be the problem. So I'll show you kind of what we've got so far. I'll play you this section into the drop. Tell me what you think of this. There's some things I really like. There's some things that sound really wrong. I think the bass is particularly obnoxious and doesn't really fit well with the idea. But to talk about the things that are good, this idea appears pretty cool. Still really like what we got going on here. Now that's not new. If you've been watching the channel, you know that you've heard that before. But this channel here, this channel particular is a new one. All I'm doing is doubling the melodic notes out of this MIDI here. This stuff is mostly just this just of these two notes. There's this, tonic and dominant there of the fifth, but then you have these kind of other little notes that are emphasizing different bits of motion, especially this. So basically any notes that weren't tonic and dominant, I took this MIDI, took tonic and dominant out of it, and was left with this MIDI here, which looks very, very sparse, but gives us... And these notes are still obviously in the original, so it creates this doubling that just gives a slight edge of volume to these melodic notes, which obviously I could do with velocity, but I don't know if this patch actually has velocity baked in. So yeah, instead of using velocity, we just literally double the instruments that are emphasizing that note. So it just makes a difference. Then the next thing is in this other section, we bring back the kind of in between the gaps idea with this guy. He's filling in all of the gaps that this synth is leaving. It creates this really nice texture. I think it's really powerful when it comes in. Which, honestly, I could do that the whole time. I don't know. I kind of like how intimate and sparse this section gets, but then I will say it stays too intimate, and I don't really know. There's not an obvious answer jumping to the front of like what to do about that. Because for people who haven't heard, who are jumping in, this is their first episode, we have a very big sound in this piece. It is amazing. There's a nice big sound there, and this section over here gets really, really tight and intimate. So it feels like a very, very small room, all that sound's happening instead of being in this big room. And I kind of want that. I want to kind of bring it back in and then have it go back out. But I don't know if maybe I am having too many elements that are still kind of big and washy in this section, and maybe that's making it difficult. The fact that I've got this guy going on in the background here is like, maybe makes it hard for that sound to I'm splitting the difference maybe is the issue here. I'm like doing some big sounds and some small sounds, and it's not really kind of cleanly being either one. So not quite sure what the best way to fix that is there. But as far as other things we added in this section, I added an upper partial to the bass. So the bass here just It's literally just, I don't know if there's like a good way to show this. I mean, there's the mini meters down there, but it's just this guy, just this note. It's such a subtle thing, but to me it felt like the bass would do with a little bit of glue between the notes there. So that's kind of just what that's doing in that little section there. I don't know if that's it's fine. It is what it is. But then the big thing, this section over here, this section didn't exist at all yesterday. A lot of like made things in this section. The first of which I guess we talk about up here is this guy that is it's just this end bit of our synths that we were just listening to. That, well, I guess including that as well, just bounced. And then with a few different Pro Q, or a few Pro Q4 things, a few Shaper Box things here. The Shaper Box, we got this filter that's just slowly pulling up the bottom end. Actually, so there's not any. Yeah, the Pro Q4 is just cutting off the bottom. So just this slowly sweeping up with this high pass, slowly crushing down with a resample, and then the noise here doing kind of like the envelope mode, so it's following the noises, following the sound, but we have pitch slowly moving down over the course of kind of the first 8 bars, or first 4 bars here of this sound, and then after that's over, fading the volume of it out. That creates kind of like, it's almost like an extra downer on top of that sound there. So just kind of processing it, and then printed this audio so that we could double it, you know, over and then bring it back in, and then there'll be the next drop. It'll be pretty cool. I think that I am excited that I think that turn in this little bit, I think it will be very effective. I still feel like it kind of sucks all up in here. Like this is really still kind of boring. And I think it just needs more things. But more feels like a bad answer, or maybe it just needs better things, you know? This Baby Blue build, this was kind of fun. This is the opposite of what we were doing over here in the section prior to this, where we really came down. We took kind of our vocal and we chopped it up and had it kind of echo through different parts of the lyrics. It's surprising. It's kind of cool. We start with like the full big center, and then we go left, right, and then kind of back with this last one where it's pretty spread. And we're over here, we're doing the opposite of that as we swell up here with this. And then we again printed all this audio so that I could kind of manipulate the audio tails here. And we are fading up there with Pro Q, just moving this guy up as things went. I just did this with latch, so I just kind of just put on latch mode and just dragged that node up there to fade that one out. The one really cool thing was here going into these guys. I put it on pitch flex and moving it. It goes in, because it originally goes in baby blue, or in baby blue, and because we were on the 4 chord when this happens in the kind of full drop, or the full musical idea originally, but this works doing a very big dominant expansion here. So having that la ringing out over so ti do fa, I think would just be too. It just kind of clashes there. It's not the good note to have in this. So being able to go into pitch flex and move to in baby blue was pretty cool. So this comes out much more. It works, you know, and I think all the elements we have here do their job right now. It's just a little, it starts to die. I have right now the bass in particular, I think is still probably the weakest part, and I have it doing also a kind of a sweep up here with a high cut. And so we're going to really have the bass like kind of slam back into place on the drop. But right now, unfortunately, that sweep up is sucking energy out in a section that is specifically supposed to be building energy. So I need to figure out something else to do in the bass there, or maybe don't do that sweep up there. But if I turn this off, I mean, the bass just sits there and hammers you. It's not good. So figuring out what else to do there, maybe some kick drum. Arm, please come down and stay down so I can talk into this microphone. It really doesn't want to. Okay, I think I fixed it. The only other thing we kind of built today was this drum hit here. That's sort of a transitional sound. It did not come out the way I wanted it to. I wanted kind of a big, like bass. I want this to fill in some bass frequencies, and kind of give us a rumble there. But it sounded so, I don't know. Maybe I'm using the wrong drums. I went through the Spitfire audio library here and was using some of their low boom sounds, but it was. Then I tried some of the low. I think actually those were bass drum hits instead of low booms. But we put a transient shape around there, so we have more of a kind of a punch and attack, and then put some OTT on it, which actually helped a lot to get us closer, but still really far from it. And then in this bounce, we put some shaper box that kind of adds a big long reverb tail, and then a EQ to bring down this. Kind of like crush it down, so it's not just having this ringing high pitchiness there. I don't know. We're still figuring it all out. Still working on how to make this better. But a lot of progress today, and a lot of working on things I'm not good at, which is the time when I'm learning the most. So, yeah, happy to have gotten done with it. That's all we had time for today. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.